Hello and welcome to Healthy Knitting. I'm your host, Rosie. You can find me on Ravelry at LESPETITSLUXES, and we have a group over there. And it's been a while since I've podcasted. I think it's been 3 weeks, and I've kind of forgotten how to do this, so bear with me. The light's a little funny. I have a lot of light behind me. It's actually a nice and sunny day today. A little chilly, but a lot better than all the snow we've been getting. You can see some snow on the tree out there, but there's snow up to my thighs outside, and I'm not a tall person, but still, it's up to my mid-thigh walking around. I can't even get out my back door to feed the birds, so I have to just throw out handfuls of it out on the back deck to keep them all happy and fed. So let's see, thank yous. I want to say thank you to all of you who have posted questions in the group. I'm going to handle all of them, except I want to do the meditation question next time, because I want to talk about the different types of meditations, and I think it's going to be a little bit too much all in one session to handle all of those questions, so I'll be handling 4 of them and the meditation question next time I podcast. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. What's new and good? Oh my gosh. So, I went for my visa and applied for my visa to Italy, and I was denied. I do not have strong enough ties to Italy, so they said, you can come for a max of 180 days a year. So that's not really the good part, but the good part is that I can still keep the house over there. I've talked to the homeowner and he said fine. So I'll be going over his plan for the month of March or the month of April, leave at the end of March, and I'll put the kitchen in and do all those kind of things, and then I'll come back here for May, and then I'll be headed back again for the summer, and then I'll come back again when it's nice here, which means I can go to Rhinebeck again. Yay. September and October are beautiful here, and they are there too, but I would like to spend the summer there. It's a beautiful time of the year to be on the lake, and although I do live near the river here, I live near the Hudson River, and we can go out and do things there, it's really beautiful there. So I'll be podcasting from there. I plan to get the internet put into the house when I go over this April, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I just need to find the right internet carrier. Apparently, free, unlimited does not always mean unlimited, so I don't know. I'm going to need some help with that one, so I'm sure there are people over there that can help me out. The internet you can get with your phone is so much less expensive than here, but I think the land, when they do it in the house, that might be a little bit more tricky. So it's kind of like phones. The phone landlines are a lot more expensive in Italy than they are for the cell phones. So I don't know why, but it is what it is. So, change of plans. So the cats are staying here, and there's good things with that too. And so I'm not saying anything is not good. It's just not what I had initially thought of, but there are other forces at work here, and I'm going to assume that all of them are in my best interest. So moving forward from there, what else is new and good? Wow, it's been so long that I can't even remember what's happened, and in these past 3 weeks there's been so much that I've been doing on the work front, and things to learn and more stuff to know, that I've been just really super busy with all of that, and then preparing for the move, which is very interesting. That all my yarn's bagged up downstairs. It's so funny. I've packed so many things. Oh, here's some better light. Packed so many things, given some things away, sold some things. So now I'm making the adjustment to putting things back and whatever, figuring out where they need to go, and there really hasn't been a whole lot of time to do that. But anyway, we'll be moving on here. So I guess my new and good section, that's just about all the news that I can remember to tell you, unless I think of something as we go here. Oh, I did go see some concerts. I I saw Buckwheat Zydeco. When was that? Last week. Last Saturday, I think it was. That was really fun. And I feel like I did something else too, but I don't remember. Sorry. It may come to me like that one just did. So not a whole lot on the knitting front. And which is one of the reasons why I was going to podcast, and I was like, oh, let me just finish the sweater. And then I'll show you. So, I've totally forgotten how to do this. So anyway, I'm going to show you the Cable Raglan Pullover by Adrienne Vittadini. And something didn't go quite right. And I still haven't sewn up under the arms exactly because something just didn't feel right. I don't particularly care for it on the collar, and you can't see that very well, can you? The collar doesn't stay its shape, so it doesn't really look like what it looks like on Ravelry on some other people's projects. So I'll probably sew that up eventually and maybe wear it. If I don't like the way it comes out after I've sewn it, I'll rip it out. I like the yarn. The yarn's really nice. And like I said, once I blocked it, it evened out beautifully. And so I really like the yarn, but the project really didn't come out that great. Trying not to get the weird light. I did make one other thing. The socks are in the car. I think I've probably worked on them, but they're in the car and I did not feel like going out and getting them. I made the Cashmere Ribbed Hat by Jessica K. Oops. And it's just a basic ribbed hat, and I used, hang on, it's in the wine colorway, number 17, Ella Ray. Let me just go to my project page. How about that? Ella Ray Lace Merino Worsted, and I used size 7 needles, and I cast on, says no. It's me not even interpreting my notes right. I made the smaller size. And so this is the one charity hat. I haven't woven in the ends yet. But it's just like a basic beanie. And I need to actually, you can kind of see the little tip there. That I think I need to take back one round and then just put the stitches together so that I don't have that little bump at the top. I like the yarn a lot. It's superwash, which means whoever receives this can throw this in the wash and not worry about it, which is what I wanted, because that's what happens when you give hats away to give them instructions. They might wind up felting this hat and then it would be too small. So it's cute. I actually like it. I have just enough. I think I used 49 grams. I have 51 left. I can make one more hat at the 6-inch mark. Oh, I hope that's what I did. I thought I was going to write it down and I don't see it in my notes. The 6-inch mark, I started the decreases, and you decrease every round. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I will make the other one eventually, maybe at knitting this Thursday. I can start that. That is all that is on and off the needles. I have been pretty slack. I did some spinning, so we'll go right into spinning. I'm going to just be a little all over the place today because I have not done this in so long. I don't really remember my format, guys. Sorry. I spun the other ½ pound of the naturally colored wool from Finger Lakes Woolen Mill, and this is that plus what was left on my bobbins. Bobbins? Yeah, no, they're not called bobbins. Oh my god. You know, I'm sorry. Anyway, I don't know how much is here. Oh, you know what I can show you what's really cute? I got this, this is a a scale. Isn't that cute? It's tiny and compact, and I have a scale that it's kind of large and quite big and not always so accurate. So I got this at my local little store right in town, in Beacon. And it's super cute, and actually mine goes every even number. It won't go in between. This one will do actually every gram. So I didn't weigh actually to know how much is in this pile, but there are, it hasn't been washed yet. I just finished it today. I wanted to actually have something. I feel really bad. I don't have anything to show you. It's been 3 weeks. I've got nothing. I've got a sweater that was just about done last time I saw you, and a hat. I thought I'd have a whole bunch of time when I was listening to lectures and stuff, but I was actually having to write notes, so I couldn't knit and I couldn't spin and I had to pay attention. So, I only have one bucket, actually no, two buckets of yarn that I left out. Everything else is actually in those bags downstairs that I got from Associated Bag, the ones that you can suck out all the air. And I don't even know what I'm going to make next. I did go through my clothes the other day, or I cleaned up my closet because I moved things around in my bedroom because I really needed to clean the house. So I cleaned the house the other day, and oh God, what a disaster. So I've been so busy doing everything else and packing and stuff like that. Maybe that's what's going on. Let me move forward. I've just kind of let the house go. And when you have cats, you really can't do that because cat hair gets everywhere. So I spent most of the day cleaning up, and I moved furniture around, and I was like, oh, let me clean out my closet. And I found these 2 scarves that I don't really wear. I like the colors because they're really fun and they're bright and they're crazy. But the scarves are kind of short. And so to even wrap them around like this, I feel like I'm suffocating myself and they're going to fall apart. Or not fall on right. And then, to do this, it's kind of short. I kind of like when they're longer. So this is Collinette 0.5. I think that's what it's called. I bought this a long time ago, and they were the odd skeins. Something was wrong with them. As you can see, this is one skein. You can see that this is blue down here and this is red up here. That's how the skein came. And this is kind of like more bright blues, and this one's a little bit more normally divided in the color than this one is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these both apart, and I'm going to maybe go every other row, one and then the other, something like that, so that I can get a longer, wider scarf. Maybe I'll even do it with seed stitch or something like that. Yeah, because it seems like such a shame. I never wear them, and I like the colors. Why not do something where I'll actually wear it? So that's a plan to do that. I also had made these. I don't know the name of this pattern, but they're arm warmers, and they're really long. And the only thing I don't like about them is that they don't have actual thumbs. I used this yarn for another project, and I found this when I was cleaning out my stash and moving things around. I was like, oh, I think I have just enough yarn here to shore up and put in a thumb, because I don't wear them because then my thumb is cold. Like, I understand this concept that it's easy to just split and whatever, but it's cold. My thumb, I really like to have my thumbs in something. So I'm going to work on that. I'm just going to leave it on my desk. If I leave it on my desk, it's, I'll see it and get it done. So that's that. Let's draw for, see, I wrapped up all the yarn, guys. This is the Taki, this is the Rowan 4-ply, complete with cat hair, so I hope the person who wins this doesn't mind. So here's 10 skeins of that. Let's draw. You know what I need to do? I need to get a random. I wasn't prepared. I forgot all about this. Random.org. Random number generator. Okay, and while we do that, I'm going to go over here. So we're going to draw first for the Taki cotton. No, we're going to draw for the other one because I already have it out. Sorry. Okay, so 4-ply cotton, there were 3 replies. So okay, random jump from 2 to 3. Okay, so 2 to 4, and I'm going to hit generate. The result is, can you see that? Number 3. And number 3 is Lisa from Saratoga. So Lisa, if you could contact me, I will be sending you the Rowan 4-ply cotton. My address is in, just do, if you can use the LESPETITSLUXES, that would be great. And Lisa's question was about any thoughts on paleo diet, and we will talk about that in a minute. Let's draw for the cotton coloring. Cat hair. Hold on, let me just write that down. Okay, sorry guys. Done coloring. And there are only 3 posts for that, and oops, that one's fine. So I need to go back here and go post, oops. So I haven't hit generate yet, so it's between 2 and 3, and now I'll hit generate, and it is 3, and that is also Lisa. And your question was, I would be interested in hearing what you think about juicing. I like to do it, but sometimes it's time consuming and can be expensive. Not sure I'm getting the best nutrients or anything better than if I actually ate the fruits and veggies throughout the day. So good questions, guys. Lisa, please contact me and I will be sending you the yarn. Okay, so get rid of that. How far are we? 17 minutes. Okay. We have a lot of stuff to talk about for health stuff this time, so here we go. Okay, so we have a little bit of a helper here. There's kind of Laura. It was really cute. Right before I was recording, Buddy was sitting behind me again and did the cute little backwards hug thing, and I was hoping he would hang out and do this for you on camera, but oh, maybe he's gonna come right now. Buddy, come here. Here he comes. There's Buddy. Hi, bud. It's super cute. So maybe he'll do it while I'm talking to you. So let's talk about juicing first, because that's pretty much a lot easier than the other 3 to talk about. So I do not juice. Juicers, here it comes. Juicers are a little bit of a pain in the neck to clean, and if you don't make your juice fresh, you're really not getting the whole benefit of having the juice in the first place. So if you do juice, so cute. If you do juice, I would suggest doing more vegetables than fruits, but then making sure you're eating enough fiber, because the part that it's taking out is a lot of the fiber when you actually separate from the juice to the pulp. So Vitamixes work really great for smashing everything up into a liquid enough consistency where you're still getting the fiber, but you're able to drink the beverage. So I would recommend that a little more, but if you already have a juicer and you like it, do the juice. I mean, just definitely make sure you do enough fiber in other ways. So yes, you get different nutrients. Fiber is just something that we need in order to process hormones out of our bodies. And if we don't have enough fiber, they just keep recirculating, and that's not healthy for us either. And also make sure you drink plenty of water. And I know we talked about water once before. I will discuss later on a little bit more on water sources and filters and things like that to keep contaminants and pollutants out of our drinking water. But I'll do that on another, he's so cute, on another podcast. But recommended amounts of water to drink, because I don't think I ever said that, is if you take your body weight and you cut it in half, and that's the amount of ounces you should be drinking. And that's an average person. That does not take into effect if you are exercising, if it's really hot, if you're eating a lot of drier foods. So just be very conscious about your water, and you can actually do a log or a diary journal about what you've taken in and see how you feel, because that's really the key. It's for us to listen to our bodies, because we need to take that responsibility. We need to understand what works for us. And so when you're feeling tired, have another glass of water and see what happens. We are so complex beings that it is impossible to have any one thing be right for every single person. It really is impossible. So, check in with yourself, see where you're going. So I hope that answers your question on juicing. I think I'm not sure if I did say this, but more vegetables than fruit, though, because fruit is, especially once you take away the fiber part of the fruit and you just drink the juice, it's very high amounts of sugar, whereas vegetables tend not to be in there. But variety is good too. I think there are so many parts of food that we don't know about yet. And to eat a wide variety of things is very important so that we can get a wide variety of nutrients. Okay, thank you for that question. It was a great question. Okay, so then we have the discussion on what foods are good to eat and avoid for diabetes, the Paleo Diet, and what is to avoid for arthritis. So let's just go into diabetes, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So when you want to eat to, and I think personally this is kind of my thought, I think when we say the word diet, we don't necessarily think of, wow, that's really bright back there, isn't it? Maybe we can do that. I don't want to blind anybody. We kind of look at it from a different point of view, and I really look at a diet as a way of life. It's not just what I eat. Sorry, I got cat hair fuzz all over now. So, I don't count calories. I think that's just not the way for me to go. So my diet is a lifestyle. What I eat, what I don't eat, is basically tries to keep in alignment with all the rest of what I'm doing in my life. Making sure you exercise and meditate, which we're going to talk about later in another podcast. I have cut some stuff out, and I've redid this section already, so I'm not sure what I said and what I didn't say, but I'm going to touch on the meditation part in a whole episode, because there are so many different types of meditation, and there are so many benefits, it's ridiculous. So I want to give that some time, and I probably should be cutting these as it is too, but in some ways they're very similar, so it's nice to actually talk about all three at one time. So let me go back and just say that when we talk about a diet, it's not just what you're eating. So if you have issues with diabetes, you want to make sure that you're exercising, that you are that you're breathing before you eat. All these little things are going to help our physiology, and it's not just, I think, there are so many different things that can go get out of balance and cause us symptoms. So all of us want to try to take these precautions. And I'm going off again. I keep doing that. Trying not to. So anyway, let me just run down some keys for eating for diabetes. So you don't want to eat sugar, processed foods, even the fake sugar are the artificial sugars, because they can still spike your blood sugar. And that does not ever come on the package label, but it does, and they are also known carcinogens, so it's something you really want to avoid. The pink, the blue, and the yellow, all of them, they're horrible, really. So, and if you see diet stuff, don't even go there, because really your best friend is whole food. Eating foods that are a low glycemic load, and you can go find that if you type in a Google search for low glycemic load, not index. It's two different things. Those foods are ones that you should be looking for. So you want to make sure you're exercising, you want to make sure you're having plenty of fiber, you want to make sure that you're drinking plenty of clean, pure water. You want to eat slowly and thoughtfully. And before you eat, one of the things that you can do is actually take 5 breaths and just breathe before you sit and eat, because this will lower your cortisol levels and will help you to assimilate your food much better. Eat a variety of fruits and vegetables along with their fiber. Avoid sugar, alcohol, refined foods, pasta, bread, blah, blah, blah. And I have on here also garlic. Garlic is very, very important. So if you would actually, I got this from my library, the blood sugar solution by Dr. Mark Hyman. And this is a very good book, I think, for anyone. It's not just if you have diabetes or pre-diabetes. This is a very good book to give yourself some general wellness tips on how a lifestyle should be, not just the food. It's also talks about your lifestyle, and I think that that's very important, because they're just so connected. So for someone who has arthritis, Dr. Well, W-E-I-L, and if you go to Dr. Well, DRWEIL.com, you can find a whole variety, and just in his little search box you can type in anti-inflammatory, and his whole anti-inflammatory diet comes forth, so you can read that. And let's move this back a little bit, I'm running out of space here. The similarities, again, with the anti-inflammatory diet and diets for diabetes are that no sugar, avoid sugar, highly processed food. Again, the sugar causes inflammation in the body. You want to make sure that you eat low glycemic load foods. Again, it's the sugar. You want to make sure you eat plenty of fiber. You want to eat a lot of vegetables from the cabbage family. Those are very, very helpful. Turmeric is very helpful, and no coffee. And they suggest to not eat meat, but to instead eat foods that are rich in omega-3s, which are fish. Specifically because of all of the methylmercury and all of the PCBs and things that are going on with fish these days, you are better off to stick with the fish that are lower on the food chain, like sardines and mackerel and a little fish. I forgot its name already. Sorry. I don't eat fish, so I forget these things. But anyway, stay away from farm-raised fish unless you get it at Whole Foods, because they now have a whole protocol for their fish farms, and everything has to be certified. And if it's not, you can get such a mess of things. It's ridiculous. So Pacific wild salmon. There is no Atlantic salmon anymore. So Pacific wild caught salmon is another one, but if it doesn't specifically say that, it's going to be farm raised, and that could cause a whole host of problems that you weren't looking for. So So you can see the similarities in eating for diabetes and eating for anti-inflammatory, which would reduce the incidence of inflammation and arthritis in your joints. Paleo Diet is similar in a way because it says nothing should be eaten that wasn't here before we started farming. So they avoid dairy, they avoid sugar, processed foods. So again, very similar in that way. However, they are very big on meat. And so the one thing that I think maybe people miss as well is that it's supposed to be grass-fed meat. So in order to really have the health benefits of the omega-3s and not omega-6s is to eat the grass-fed. Omega-3 and omega-6 are amino acids that we need, and we do not produce them. But the problem is that most of our food is a higher ratio of omega-6s to omega-3s. And when you start introducing beef and animals that have been raised with grains, especially like soybeans and all of the other things that they're eating these days that are just not conducive to a healthy animal as well, they're just getting the wrong kind of fats in their bodies. And so what this diet suggests is that you're eating more omega-3s as well. So very similar to the anti-inflammatory diet, except they're suggesting not to eat meat at all, and to get the omega-3s from fish. And a little side note, when we talked about the walnuts the other day, one of the very peculiar things about walnuts is that they are very rich in omega-3s but very low in omega-6s. And it's hard to find in a lot of foods. The ratio is a really good one, so it's hard to find something that's similar in that way. So the Paleo Diet also suggests to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, no legumes at all. So you can see the similarities. Now, I don't do a Paleo Diet because I eat eggs, which is on the paleo list. I eat free-range, organic, fed, pastured eggs when there's pasture. Right now it's pretty cold and I buy local. So I think they're in barns, but they're running around free, and that's very important to me. We discussed that before. And you can actually look for certified humane on the label, which is better than when it just says free range, because if it's free range, they could still have a very small space and be allowed, but they may not ever use it. So the parameters for certified humane are much better for the animal. So if you can find that label on your food, you'll both be doing much better, you and the animal. So just a little side note. So, but because I'm not heavy into meat and I don't even eat fish, I mean, I do eat some grains here and there, and considering doing gluten-free again, I have not. So in a while, I did it for a while way back. I've done everything. I've tried everything because it's fun. It's an experiment. I think that's where we're at with our bodies. Like I said, there's no one book that's going to do everything. But most of the major diets that are out there for prolonged health and not just I want to lose 10 pounds are ones that avoid processed foods, so no sugar. They avoid gluten because of the problems that you can have with your gut and leaky gut syndrome. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to also mention that fermented foods is really important, and I don't know where it's mentioned in any of those. It might be in Dr. Hyman's book, I'm not sure. The importance of having that. And also the anti-inflammatory diet, I think they say that yogurt is okay and some cheeses, whereas in paleo, they're like, no, none at all. So you really need to find what works for you, and that really can help you out if you get a log. If you try a diet, most of them, any of these that reduce all of these things, like the sugar and the artificial sweeteners and chemicals, like eating organic, I think that's also recommended, to eat as much organic, because now you're cutting out as many pesticides, or more pesticides, than you would if you didn't. And I do think that if you are going to eat animal proteins, to find the best quality that there is and just eat less of it. Yes, it's going to cost more, but your health is really, really worth it, because what does it cost to be on medication? What does it cost to actually be sick and not feel well? And the problem is, a lot of us don't even realize that we don't feel as good as we normally should. I mean, I didn't. Before I had the panchakarma retreat, I had no idea I felt as bad as I did until I went and I had that, and I was like, oh my God, this is what it feels like to feel good again. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, I never want to go there ever again. I never want to feel so foggy and so unhealthy, you know. So people have done well on the paleo diet. People have done well with Dr. Wells' anti-inflammatory, and people have done well with the blood sugar solution. So I think when you just like I said, just try something out and see if it works for you. Food logs are great. You can just keep a short little diary and see how you feel. I'd mentioned that in the podcast before. So that's about all that I want to talk about with the diets, but definitely plenty of water and plenty of sleep and plenty of de-stressing, which we'll get into with meditation, because that's another part. Like I said, if you're constantly in a state of stress, you're still not going to feel well. So we need to get our bodies into feeling really good, and taking everything one step at a time. You know, if you try to do too much at one time, also it can be overwhelming. So small baby steps, and find alternatives for things, and that's all I wanted to say. Okay, so I think that might be it. Oh, I wanted to say this is a 3-ply. I didn't say that before. There's 3 plies. And it will probably plump up a little bit. The other one is already now in a bag, so I don't even know where that is. It's downstairs in the basement somewhere. I'd like to do something with it. It's really quite soft. And I have a lot of it. I have a whole pound of it. So I might make like something like this, maybe, but with a V-neck. I don't like this kind of neckline. This is the Shalom cardigan. And these are buttons that I bought at Rhinebeck. And this is made with Taki organic wool. And I was trying to make long sleeves, but I ran out of yarn, so that was 6 balls was all that this made. But I don't typically, like, normally I would wear a scarf with this, because I don't like this kind of neckline on me. So I might make another one, but make a V-neck or something. I'm not sure. But I do have enough yarn to make something like that, something with not a lot of pattern stitches, and this was super easy. It didn't take long to make it all. And that's about it. So thank you very much, you guys, and we'll talk about meditation next time. And do check out, I think, Dr. Mark Hyman also, he has a very extensive website with lots of articles. So I do recommend him. I recommend Dr. Well too. I mean, these are people that I've admired through my school who have just done some great work with trying to get other doctors educated, instead of just saying, here's a pill for this and a pill for that. They're really trying to look at the whole picture of someone's health. And I really respect that, and I give them a lot of credit, and just hoping that more people feel that way as well. I mean, if your doctor, and this is not anybody in specific, but if your doctor isn't willing to listen to you and to help you out, and it's just the way the whole system is these days, just find another doctor. There are functional doctors and alternative medicine doctors all over the place that are willing to look, I mean, and help you out. There's also, you know, what I do, people are health coaches. They're everywhere, you know, to really help someone work through their issues and help you get a lifestyle that works for you. And so, you know, don't ever think that you're just stuck with having to do it the way one doctor says, because there are lots of other ways to get things done. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Ciao.